Okay, we have Bo Nix here, and he is ready for questions. We will start on the right side of the room, second row.
Bo, Bill Cameron with the Drive, ESPN 106.7. Obviously, one of the biggest questions about the offense this year is going to be the receivers. What have you seen? And talk about the addition of Demetrius Robertson.
Yes, sir. So obviously, like you just said, we got an addition with Demetrius. Excited to get him on campus and to meet him and throw to him because of obviously his past. But I think the experience factor is just going to be key moving forward. The first 3 games the first few games really going into the season will help for our experience, especially at receiver because we lost some guys from last year. But those guys are excited. They're ready to go. They're working hard right now. They're learning the playbook, and we're practicing together a lot, which is really important for a quarterback-receiver duo, just to know more about each other, know how each other plays, and that's important, and that'll be a key for us moving forward as we play games.
Bo, to your left, second row.
Bo, with a new head coach this year and some new faces in the quarterback room as well, do you feel a little extra pressure coming into this year?
Not at all. I think I'm just confident. I've had a few, I guess you could say my freshman year was a solid year. Last year, at times you struggled, but I think it was a great year of growth. So I've had 2 good years, in my opinion. Obviously continue to grow. I think pressure is a privilege, and so all the added pressure is just more of an honor to be at Auburn playing quarterback. And I really am blessed to be here, blessed to be in this position because I know there's so many people that could be. I'm just excited that I'm the one that the Lord chose. And moving forward, just continue to be a great teammate, be there for those guys because they go through a lot too. They have a lot of pressure on themselves. But I grew up kind of understanding that being the Auburn's quarterback would have a lot of pressure, and it would come with a lot of pressure. But I'm excited. I'm thankful for the opportunity. I'm excited to play another season.
We have 2 questions here on the front row. One.
Bo, Tyler Shaw with KBTX in College Station. Across the league, there's a lot of first-year starting quarterbacks this year. How much of an advantage is it for you to be a guy that's had experience playing under center in the SEC?
Well, yeah, obviously experience started as a freshman, but so knowing what a first-year starter was like, going to Texas A&M and playing, going to LSU, going to Florida, probably 3 of the toughest places to play in college football. So I understand what position they're gonna be in. But my advice to them was just to be who they are and not try to do anything special. The game of college football is the same game we played our entire lives. It may be a little faster with more people, bigger environments, maybe louder, but the football is still going to be put down. You're going to play against a defense that has 11 guys on the field, and you're just trying to score. And for most of the time, it's just depending on your teammates and really depending on those guys and having a trust with them and just trusting your coaches.
Get on the front row here.
Hey, Bo, I work at a paper in Charleston, South Carolina. I believe your dad used to coach at Charleston
Yes, sir.
Southern, and you were a ball boy for him, right?
Sure was.
Just what are your memories of that time when you were a ball boy and of Charleston in particular?
You know what? Charleston was one of my favorite places to where I lived. I met one of my best friends. We're still friends to this day. And like you said, I got to go out there and be the ball boy for my dad because Charleston Southern's a small school out there in Charleston, so there weren't any managers or anything. So the managers was the coaches' kids. So after school, every single day I would go to practice. I would help spot footballs. I'd help shag footballs. I would help with drills. And that's really where I started to learn the most about the game of football. I was around how my dad coached. It was very respectful coaching staff, so there wasn't any profanity or any coaches out there that would prohibit me from being out there at a young age. I was only in 5th or 6th grade. So I would go out there every single day, spot the balls, and if I messed up, my dad would rip me for it. But that's just where I learned to love the game. And every Sunday we'd go out there after the game on Saturday. Dad would finish watching video, and my brother and I and him, we'd get one other person. We'd play 2-on-2 football on one of those smaller fields in the back. And that's really when I really knew I loved the game of football, and I was excited to play. I didn't start playing football until 7th grade, so that's why I was able to be a ball boy for that long.
To your left on the second row.
Hey, Bo, you were one of the first student athletes to sign a deal. At midnight, you posted a picture with Milo's. First thing is, did you reach out to them or did they reach out to you? And the second thing is, do you realize you're going to be linked to this topic for the rest of your life, and have you really thought about that?
Yeah, of course. First of all, I think NIL is a great opportunity for us as student athletes. I really thankful it's not limited to just one sport or anything. I mean, it's every single college athlete can now make compensation off of their name, which is important because their name is only what they have, and that's unique to them. And so allowing other people to use it for and to benefit those players, those athletes, I think it's valuable. But with Milo's, it was just a mutual agreement, and obviously it may be stuck with me forever, but eventually somebody else will sign something and that'll be the topic, or I'll sign something else and that'll be the new topic. So it's just all evolving, but like I said, it's a great opportunity.
To your right, on the second row in the end.
Hey, Bo, Dan Peck, ESPN 1067 in Auburn. You said you felt you've had 2 good years as the Auburn starting quarterback. Just curious, things that you believe you've improved upon since you got to Auburn before the 2019 season, and things in your game that you think still need work.
Well, I think just from a physical standpoint, I've improved with size, speed, and strength. I think that's helped me running the ball, and longevity in the SEC has kept me safe and kept me healthy, which is, I mean, the best ability in any sports is availability. And so keeping me on the field is important so I can improve and can continue to gain experience. Because as a quarterback especially, experience is the number one thing in my opinion. The more you see, the more you adapt to, the more you can take advantage of. That's the best part about being a quarterback. And I probably could mention a bunch of things that I could improve on, but one of the things is just making those tight windows throws that I know I can make, and throwing people open. And it's just one of those gifts that you see Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, they do, even though sometimes they throw to open receivers, especially Patrick Mahomes when you got Tyreek Hill and guys like that. But so helping our receivers out, helping with their experience, throwing those guys open so they can understand what it's like to run routes and to fit in tight windows, and so they can gain experience for themselves.
To your left on the second row.
Hey, Bo, you guys have gotten your first summer offseason under Coach Harsin. How have the changes been, and how have y'all adjusted to working under Coach Harsin?
The changes have been great. It's been very smooth. Coach Harsin is huge with the small details and the discipline that goes into running a football program, and that's helped us tremendously. I think that guys have responded really well. Obviously, there's always something that could be changed and could be done better. And so our guys are learning and adapting to that, and just continue to trust the coaches, what they're telling us to do, learning the new schemes, offense and defense, special teams, which is going to be important for our success moving forward. But this summer, the workouts have been tough. We run stadiums now, and that's really tough. Owen and I actually ran it before we came up here, so we made sure not to skip out on that. But that's just going to only help our development, and it's tough now, so that maybe we can gain an advantage in the future in the fourth quarters, overtimes, and those tough games when both teams are tired and exhausted, and who can push through it the most.
2 final questions. The first over here on the left.
Hey, Bo, going off her question about Coach Harsin, you know, he's a Boise boy through and through. You have grown up as an Auburn fan. You've been down in the SEC for a long time. What have you told him about what he's about to experience this first season in SEC country?
Well, I think he understands the magnitude of SEC football because, I mean, you know, it just means more down here. And that actually is a legitimate saying for the league. And every team is so tough to play to where each and every week it better mean more to you or you'll mess around and get beat. So Coach Harsin understands that. He came in knowing that. He has done a really good job of laying a foundation. He's excited, I know, to play in some hostile environments and some great atmospheres, but he's played in some big games himself, so he'll understand it. But it's one of those things that you can't really explain to someone unless they experience it first. Like, I knew Florida would be loud, but there was a point where you just couldn't hear anything, and that's when I realized how loud things could really be. So it's all about experience, and Coach will experience that whenever our first tough environment will be. I'm sure the first game against Akron will be loud because fans are allowed to be back in the stadium, which is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a blast, and I think there could be a lot of people there for that first one, and the atmospheres will just continue to get better and better as the year goes on.
Our final question right here on your right.
Bo, what's it been like having TJ in the room with you, this summer, and what are your initial impressions of him as a quarterback?
Yeah, TJ obviously was a good transfer for us. He's a big, strong guy with a good arm, a fast release. So I've just done everything I can to help him learn the offense, because I know how it was for me at the beginning. I know what kind of offense he came from, so it's going to be a little different for him. But we've gotten a lot of transfers that I think are important for our team. We did a really good job in the transfer portal. Got a receiver, got a few other guys on offense, and then got some really key defensive players that are already helping us over there, and they will continue to help us. So just all the transfer guys that we got, we're excited for those guys to get out there and play with us in the first game and see how they can contribute.
Bo, thank you very much.
Thank you,
Great
guys.
job.
Where are you going?